Right, this is Ask GMBN. We've got loads of mountain bike questions. We'll try and help you out by answering them. If you have any, leave them in the comments section down below or send them to ask@gmbn.com. Should we kick it off?
Oh, yeah.
Right, Coco Lores says, how can I replace a broken spoke, it snapped at the hub, without losing tubular sealant and retaping the wheel?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. I'm not even sure that's possible without severe amount of fettling.
I don't think it is. I think you've got to take the tyre off.
You can't really access the nipple properly, can you?
No, you can. You don't have to lose the tubular sealant. I scoop it out and you can reuse it most of the time, as long as it's not too old. But I think you're going to have to retake the wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So unfortunately,
bit of fettling there.
Yeah. Rodrigo Avila, can I transform a cross-country bike into an enduro bike by just changing the suspension fork?
Not really. You can put a slightly longer travel fork on your bike, but it is going to affect things like your bottom bracket height and stuff. And if it is a cross-country bike, it's not really designed to be ridden really hard on rough terrain, so you've got to bear that in mind, I think.
Yeah, I think the geometry is not going to change very much, so it's not going to feel that much better at riding downhill. I think things like tyres can make a big difference how the bike feels, so you can tweak them a little bit, but you're not really going to transform the bike into an enduro bike, but it's worth trying, I think. Next question comes from Fila. Yeah, my Schwalbe hand stamp has no rotation marks. I was talking about this last week. I was saying look harder, but actually, lots of you spotted this. Some tyres, if they're non-directional, don't have directional marks on them. So hand stamp is one apparently, so you can run them either way because they're symmetrical both ways. So well spotted, all you guys. Hayden Lees, what is the best way to corner? Good question.
Fast and hard.
Well, that's what Megatron says, so yeah. We've done a big video on how to ride corners, fully in depth, so check that video out. Riding corners fast on a mountain bike can be quite hard, a little bit risky, but it is a lot of fun when you nail it. So this is how to ride corners fast.
Yeah, okay, so Owen Hexley asks, what is your opinion on low travel, or short travel trail bikes?
I guess we're talking sort of 140mm would be short travel, I suppose. It's for me anyway. I love them. I guess a lot of people, I think, sort of go over bike and they sort of get a big travel bike. For the UK, something like a 160, but I prefer using slightly less travel, 140. I love it. It feels really lively when I ride a bike like that.
Definitely, yeah, way punchier sort of ride, and you're not so much... you're not carrying all that baggage, really.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people riding the big bikes and they don't really need them for the terrain they're riding.
I know, I sometimes think that. It sounds a little bit snobby, I guess, but I like to think that if you're a good rider, you can ride a shorter travel bike and it'd be really good fun, whereas a long travel bike can be a bit sluggish, a bit hard to move around, so I love riding a short travel bike.
Peter Sayer Christensen asks, I'm in doubt whether I should get a medium or large frame for my next bike. Currently he's got a large XC bike and he's 180 centimetres tall. Canyon recommends a medium. But if you look 182 centimetres, they'd recommend a large, so he's not sure where he should go with those two.
That's pretty tall. I'm 177 centimetres and I run a medium, but I'm probably on the limit, and that's on a Canyon as well, it's your spectral. I would say probably go for a large. How tall are you, Doddy? Do you know in centimetres?
I don't actually know.
Pretty damn tall.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm XL, and if they made a double XL, I'd probably veer that way. But I would always say go for the slightly larger bike if the seat tube height allows it.
Yeah, I reckon go for a large probably. Alexander Sheramet, I ride through several sections of sand, we're talking about riding sand, on his daily commute, and I use oil, when he used oil on his drivetrain, it was useless after a couple of months, so everything sticks to it and it wears it down.
Sure, yeah.
So Alexander is recommending paraffin for chain lubrication because the sand doesn't stick to that and the chain lasts much longer, so that's a good bit of advice.
That is good advice, yeah, I guess it's kind of similar to the wax sort of base lubes that you can get. Obviously you want to use those in the drier conditions with sand and stuff, but your chain has to be really clean when you apply it in the first place.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of people in the comment section last week saying trying to use wax, so if you're riding sand, definitely try that. Connor Mitchell, I can't get any grip whatsoever from my shoe to my pedal. It just has running shoes and cheap flat pedals with no screws but metal bends on the sides.
Does that mean like the cage type thing?
Any tips?
It's hard to tell without being specific about the pedal and the shoe combo themselves. It sounds like you're stuck with your riding shoes as they are, which is fine, but if your pedals don't give you that much grip, you're kind of stuck, so you can't change the pins in those sort of pedals.
No, I've done it years ago when I started riding and got a file to try and make them a bit more jagged, but I don't know if I'd recommend that, actually taking material away from the pedal, so
Yeah, and
maybe,
also it might hurt your shins if you do slip off that.
I would probably think about upgrading the pedals to ones with pins. They're definitely more grippy, and you can play around winding the pins in and out to get the perfect amount of grip.
For sure, yeah.
Trailmaster, how often do I have to bleed my brakes and change the brake pads?
Well, going in reverse here, changing your brake pads simply when they're worn out, or if you glaze them, which means they're just going to be ineffective after they've been heated up too much. There's no real rule of thumb with bleeding your brakes as such, other than when they need to be bled, and you can tell that if your levers are sometimes pulling to the bars and they're feeling quite inconsistent, or if you've perhaps stored your bike upright and you get the same symptoms.
I've had it with some brands of brakes. It feels a little bit sluggish. Not only does it pull the bar, it feels a bit weird, like it feels
slow.
a bit of friction in there almost. That's pretty time to replace it all as
Definitely,
well. Gav, hi. Now and again I spot some ex-pro downhill bikes for sale on the internet. What happens to the pros' bikes at the end of the season when the new models come out?
I guess it kind of depends on the pro team and the style bike they're riding, because some pros will ride literally off the shelf bikes.
Yeah.
In which case they probably would sell them on.
Yeah.
Others are using sort of prototypes or working for progression for next year's bike, so you won't see those for sale that often.
Yeah.
I think they're fine to buy if you see them, because they've generally been maintained really well.
I was going to say that. In my experience, I used to get my bikes as part of my sponsorship deals, and they were mine to sell at the end of the year, and everything always got replaced on them all the time because I didn't want them to fail in races. So generally, you'd probably find ex-pros bikes might look a little bit worn, but they're probably in good condition.
Yeah, been looked after better than the regular ones.
Possibly.
For sure.
Depends on the pro.
James says, sometimes I have days for no obvious reason I'm just not feeling confident and I ride really slowly, or sometimes even walk. Could be on a trail I've done loads of times without a problem, and I end up in such a bad mood I often don't want to get on the bike again. Have you got any advice for snapping out of this?
Difficult. I would say that happens to most people. I have days when you think, oh, this is just terrible. What am I doing here? I can't ride a bike. Depends on the conditions, I suppose. It might be slippy, or you might not be feeling it that day. So don't take it to heart. Just go out and ride your bike another day, and I'm sure it'll come back.
Yeah, just try and enjoy it. There's no stress to ride a bike, really. If that's coming from you, just chill out a bit.
Yeah, definitely good advice. Tucker Silventoinen. I saw Doddy using a wrist brace in Whistler. I've used the same one in motocross after a broken wrist. So is it an old injury or what?
Yes, it's a really old injury. Broke my wrist at Kumkan, I don't know, 2004 or something like that. And it's a little bit floppy now, so it's alright for most riding, but sometimes if riding a bike park it can sort of just roll off the bars. You might have seen me crash in a video recently when my hand rolled off the bar.
Oh, was that the problem?
Might have been.
I've broke my scaphoid a long time ago, but that's generally pretty strong, but yeah, wrists aren't the best thing to be breaking.
Got to look after those things.
Stephen Haberstack. My friend has been trying to convince us that he can attempt a 12-foot drop-off, pretty big, into a sloped landing at a jump park near where we ride. The biggest drop he's done before is 2-footer, and he honestly believes there's no difference between 12 and 2 feet.
Well, technically there is no difference, but you can't, or you shouldn't just jump straight from a 2-foot to a 12-foot. You should progress.
Yeah.
You should start slowly build up, 3 foot, 5 foot, 7 foot, etc.
Definitely, yeah.
Some people, of course, do just jump straight in at the deep end and get away with it, but you'll know about it if you get it wrong. So,
yeah, I always say that when I'm coaching, that the skill is the same, but that is perfect advice. And yeah, definitely don't just jump from 2 to 12. Try something in the middle. And we've got a video with Chris Smith on how to ride big drops. Today, we're going to be looking at some pretty intimidating obstacles, some big drop-offs.
Yes, and we've got Chris Smith right here to help us out, give us some tips as well, give you tips on how to do these things.
Okay, so time for a quick fire round. You ready?
Let's do it.
Right, Carson B asks, fact or fiction? The louder your drivetrain is when you're not pedalling, the nicer it is.
Fact. Joseph Peter Elia Villaferte, honest name. Is it okay to use a road saddle on the trails?
Yes, there's no problem with that. It might not be as durable, but go for it if it's comfy.
I've done it the other way around. Use a mountain bike saddle on a road bike. Ooh, what difference it makes, really?
Max G, what do you do with your bike when travelling to another country?
I use a bag, take it apart, stick it in a bag. Some people like to use boxes. It's relatively easier than most people think to travel with a bike. Laurie Cohen, have you ever been to South Africa? The trails are amazing. I live in Cape Town.
Oh, I have, and I've been to Cape Town. Love it there. Not for riding though. Would love to go back.
I rode the World Cup in Pietermaritzburg and no, dislocated my finger.
Ooh, maybe we should revisit.
Yeah, let's go.
Paul Tex asks, hi guys, I'm desperately trying to convince one of my friends not to buy an eMTB. So I have a question for you. Is it possible to wheelie an eMTB?
It is. It's very possible to wheelie an e-mountain bike. In fact, it's loads of fun. You've got all that power, you just don't want to loop the thing out.
Yeah, a bit of a challenge, I think.
Leon Root, my wheel is ever so slightly buckled. Does this matter?
No, but you probably should check if you've got any dramatically loose spokes. The rim itself is damaged. You can just run it until it's killed, really. But check your spokes aren't loose, and you're good to go.
You will lose a little bit of grip if it's really wobbly because your tyre's moving around and forward. But yeah, don't really matter. That's it for the quick fire.
Okay, so now it's time for Correct Me If You're Wrong. So we've got a really good one here from Andreas Schmidt from Switzerland. It looks like it's in Morzine to me. I think you might know this.
I've ridden this jump.
Want some advice on getting some more airtime jumping higher? If I could work out, he's doing it pretty well.
It's a big old jump, this one.
It is a big jump.
I've seen people crash on this jump as well.
Yeah, it's right under the chairlift, so.
So to get more height, I would say first thing, slow down because you're pretty much overshooting that jump anyway. So if you're going for more height, you're just going to jump further. So slow down and actually work on your pop on the takeoff. This is all about using that takeoff to go higher. So squash your bike harder into the takeoff. I would say practice this on a smaller jump if you've not done this before. So preload your bike in, you're on a full suspension bike, and then just get further back behind the bike. That's going to give you more height, but then you need to get further forward as well. That's going to give you much more height. So just practice that.
Yeah, sound advice. We'd love to see how you get on with that. So
yeah.
Send us another video when you master it.
Yeah, keep sending your videos to ask@gmbn.com. We'll take a look and try and give you some advice if you think you can improve. That's it for this week's Ask. Keep sending your questions to us and leaving them in the comment section down below. We love hearing them. Try and answer them for you.
Yeah, so for a great video on some money-saving hacks, click right here.
Over here for 5 things not to do in a bike park. Click on the logo if you haven't subscribed already. Hopefully you have. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video.